Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What They Don't Say with Shannon and Lauren. Today, we've got some spice. We've got some anger. We've got some hate up in here because we're talking about the college that I graduated from and the college that Lauren is about to graduate from. The University of Colorado Boulder. We're calling you out.
Go Buffs. Before we dive into this, me and Shannon have new additions to our heads today.
Yes, new additions to our heads. That's funny. One might call it an accessory, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
One might.
Yeah.
Most people call them hats or caps. Really, whatever floats your boat. I find this hilarious. So, this past weekend was Shannon's birthday. Happy birthday, Shannon.
Thank you.
How old are you?
23.
I'm also 23. It's crazy. We went out and had some fun, and I haven't seen Shannon in like 2 weeks because I had was just depressed as shit and then broke my back and was in the ER. Anyways, I haven't seen Shannon in a little while. We've kind of just been in our own little worlds when it comes to the podcasts and stuff. And we go out this past weekend, we're drinking, we're having a good time, we're having fun. And then Shannon pulls me aside and she's like, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be something so serious. What's going on? I was nervous. And she's like, I got us hats. And I'm like, you got us hats. And she's
also, I would like to clarify that, but I have zero recollection of this conversation. None whatsoever.
That's what makes it so funny. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, you made us hats. That cool. What do they look like? What's the vibe? And she's like, yes, for the podcast, I made us hats. They say consent is hot. And I'm very excited about this. And I hope you're excited about this too. I know I did it without you. I really wanted hats. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm for this. I'm supportive of this. I love this for you.
But the thing is in the moment, I probably was like, she's going to be mad at me. Because I've tried to make sweatshirts in the past and I would send the ideas. I'd be like, Lauren, you're going to hate it. And she'd be like, yeah, honestly, that was fucking terrible. And so when I made the hats, I was like, Lauren probably wants to be included in this, but she doesn't get to be included because I have to order these because I've been thinking about it for months. And in that moment, my drunk ass was probably like, Lauren is going to be so upset.
But it's not like you ordered 100 bulk hats.
Also, it's not like I used your credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just, you were talking about these hats in your plan for the hats.
My plan.
You had a fucking whole plan for these hats for
me.
We were talking about this for 20 to 30 minutes.
But yeah, so if you're not watching this episode, Lauren and I are currently wearing these two white hats that kind of make us blend in with the wall a little bit. But white hats, white dad caps that say consent is hot. We'll do a little to the camera. And then the hot has a little underline of our red color. And then the back says WTDS with a little line through the D, symbolizing what they don't say, in case you couldn't figure that out.
Weren't aware.
But if you guys like these hats and you want one, let us know, because maybe, just maybe, Shannon will go out on another whim and put them up for sale for you guys.
They are cool hats and they're really nice quality, 100% cotton, and
consent is hot.
Consent is hot. And let's be real, if you're wearing one of these hats out and you meet a guy or something, or girl, whatever, that she has read your hat. And if she is or he is not into the whole consent thing, then they're gonna walk away and then good riddance. So these hats are a way to filter out the bad people that try to come into your life. Okay, we're excited about these hats. Moving along. Like Shannon was saying, something that we had kind of been thinking about a lot is the idea of rape culture in athletics. And I think being in this world and working in advocacy or whatever, we think about this a lot, right? It's such a big problem. Rape culture has been so prominent within universities, specifically in Greek life, but also in athletics. And our tagline is kind of we live in a society where athletic abilities excuse men from experiencing the consequences of raping and harassing women. And that is just a reality that we have seen time and time again at every fucking school, right? This is not just a CU Boulder problem. It's an everywhere problem.
It's a university problem.
But,
it's a universal university problem.
Exactly. But CU has been under fire for about the past 24 years.
And also, I would like to say it feels especially close to home considering we have both gone to CU like that,
Like
it sucks because like I want to be able to be supportive of the university I went to. Like I had a great college career. I had a great time at CU, but I don't want to be supporting a university that frankly supports rapists. And whether that's purposeful or not, I don't want to really be a part of that.
Yeah, there's just been some questionable actions that have been taken by the school and the athletic department in specific that are just not really, they're just unexcusable.
But we're going to give you the full rundown of the history of CU's assault history, and all the things they've done over the years or covered up or tried to cover up, along with current events that are going on. And we have an additional story too.
Yes. So
to start us off.
This is like really kind of what kicked it off for me, but we had a woman write into us who experienced being raped by a football player. This like really hit close to home. You know who you are. You're fucking awesome.
The person that wrote in. We're talking to you. We love you.
This happened at Cal Poly in California, which is like where literally like half of our family went to school. Like I almost went to Cal Poly. Like it was like for undergrad, I was deciding between Vanderbilt in Nashville and Cal Poly. Like that was it. Like both my parents went there. All right, aunt and uncle went there. Like
yeah, our other cousins
went there. Like, so when she wrote in and she was like, this is my story, like I was raped by a football player at Cal Poly, I was like, holy motherfucker, I was on fire. I was so fucking pissed off. Like it really got me going. So we are going to share that story, and obviously like this is, like a shortened version. It's not like everything that happened for like the sake of the podcast.
This is a perfect example of what's happening across every college campus in America. Is like this one person's story, I think, represents thousands of people's experiences with college athletes.
Yeah, that's a really great way to say it. Okay, so here's the story. About 6 months ago, I got together with a guy who I had previously had a brief thing with months before. We were both moving and decided that it would be nice to end on good terms by meeting up before we left our college town and started our adult life. So one night, I went over to his place, presumably to say goodbye. He immediately began kissing me, and when I initially was kissing him back, I realized quickly that he had only asked to touch base as an opportunity to have sex. I began protesting and told him that I didn't want to. However, instead of stopping, he got on top of me and began forcibly having sex with me anyway. He physically held me down with his body weight. He's 6'5" and weighs 290 pounds. When I met him, he was playing Division I college football and continued to rape me. I was begging him to stop and trying to wiggle out from underneath him, but I was stuck. Then he told me that I would need to turn around, and because I was so scared of him at that moment, I did. It was then that he sodomized me, as the whole time I was crying and pleading with him. Instead of stopping, he whispered in my ear, "Nobody's home," and continued what he was doing. After the assault, I found an anonymous social media profile set up by my rapist and his football teammates, where they bragged about the women who they had coerced into sex and made countless jokes about rape and violence against women. I found out that my rapist had previously made a joke about his historical sexual abuse that I went through as an early teenager. He said that because I never brought my first abuser to court, he knew I wouldn't snitch if he raped me in the future. I was shocked to see that this was such a normal thing for them, and I couldn't believe that he had kept such a huge aspect of his personality hidden from me. What was also so shocking was to see that he had a network of fellow college players who felt the same way about women. He went to a prestigious school, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and yet these men still held horrendous values and ideas. Okay, so she also sent us a screenshot of one of the tweets that she was talking about, and
her rapist posted.
Yeah, we'll put it up here.
Here is said tweet.
Because it's literally so fucked up. Like, this story is fucked up, but then the fact that, like, he goes and tweets this, and then the entire football team is like
commenting on it and being a part of the conversation.
Yes.
Like this is crazy. And if this doesn't just scream rape culture to you, then I don't know what fucking does.
Yeah.
So the tweet says, "So help me God, if one more girl tells me she was raped and didn't, in all caps, go to the police, I'm going to start raping them since I know they won't snitch."
I just, so many things to like fucking respond to this man. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, do you know why women don't go to the police? Can you tell us why?
Oh, probably because I might be because I'm a little scared that I'm not going to have a very good experience.
Yeah. Or I might not be believed. Or they're going to treat me like dog shit. Or nothing's going to fucking actually happen to my rapist because
he's a football player.
98% of the time, nothing ever happens. And he's a goddamn fucking football player. Like, who do you think you are? Like, you want to make a comment like that? Okay, do your fucking research. Figure out why it is that women do not come forward about being raped. We feel shame about it, which we shouldn't, but society makes us feel that way. So fuck you, society. And law enforcement officers do not know how to handle it. They place blame on us. They place blame on survivors.
They're not trained properly.
Yes.
But on top of all of that, if somebody is willing to tweet, let me just read it again for the people that didn't quite catch it.
For the people in the back.
So help me God, if one more girl tells me she was raped and didn't go to the police, I'm going to start raping them since I know they won't snitch. What sort of balls does somebody need to have? And what sort of confidence do they feel that they won't get in trouble to tweet that publicly? To put something on the internet saying that you are just going to rape more people if you're not going to get caught. Holy shit. That takes that just a blatant thing of like, I'm going to get away with it. And the fact that you feel comfortable and confident enough to put that on the internet is crazy to me. But they did. And it probably happens all the time.
It does happen all the time. And like the other thing that's crazy to me is that social media censors so much when it comes to talking about violence against women, talking about women's anatomy, you know, things like that, things that are like actually really important to talk about. Yet then there are people on social media platforms saying this shit and this stuff doesn't get censored. Like, what the fuck are these social media companies valuing? Like, this is
their algorithms fucked up.
Yeah.
Because we've had a TikTok get taken down. Obviously, we're not promoting rape. Like, we're promoting like stopping rape and like stopping sexual violence against women and men and like anybody. But we are the ones getting censored. Like, we've been censored a few times now, or like our posts will get taken down. Yeah. But somehow the algorithm is missing
shit like this, where entire football teams are talking about how they're just raping women and think it's okay. Yeah. But then this also shows that like rapists don't get consequences most of the time. So men feel like they can just go around raping because they know that they're not going to get in trouble. And even if they are reported, they know they're probably still going to get away with it, which just shows like the other side of this too, is that like there isn't a sense of responsibility or accountability that we give to perpetrators. Like, it's just, you know, you're probably going to get away with it, so you might as well just like do it. And like, I think that is also really core to this issue that we're seeing here. Just not to mention, like, do you think that there was any disciplinary action taken against any of these men for doing this?
No. If anything, like, maybe they were removed from a dorm. If they're in a dorm, maybe like suspension, but certainly not as much suffering as the person who was raped got. So thank you to the person who wrote in. We love you. We appreciate you. Fuck you, whoever tweeted that and whoever the rapist is. Okay, moving along.
And I hope that someone cuts your balls off.
Yeah, because clearly you cannot handle the power of having those two things attached to you.
Amen, sister friend.
Moving along to a girl that we care a lot about. A girl that is really near and dear to our hearts. Our girl, Ralphie.
Ralphie,
My
yes.
fucking Ralphie. I love you.
So, in case people didn't know, we are the Buffs, the Buffaloes. And I do like want to say before we begin, like, the buffalo is like a very sacred animal to like the indigenous people of like Montana and Colorado and stuff like that. And I don't want to like discount that because CU does. But there has been some things going on. To paint a picture, before a football game, what happens before a football game, Shannon?
At the start of a home football game at the University of Colorado Boulder, CU, we have Ralphie, who is our mascot, our buffalo, a real buffalo, a live buffalo, that runs across the field, like around the field, and then back into a little cage. And along with the buffalo, because we can't just have Ralphie running all on her own, there are these people called Ralphie handlers, and it's just people in like cowboy hats, and they're helping make sure that Ralphie doesn't just like plow into the audience because she's a big girl. Ralphie's a big girl. And it's one of like the best parts of every football game. Like, it is truly,
I'd say probably the only best part.
Yeah, honestly. Okay. And like people live to watch Ralphie run. Like,
people leave after Ralphie runs.
Yes. Like there's been a football game, where I literally left after Ralphie ran. And like I would get to a football game early only because I wanted to watch Ralphie run.
Yes.
So that's, and maybe if I can find a video and put it here, I will.
Yeah.
We'll do a rest.
Yeah. So like it's a big deal at CU. And so the team that handles her, that like runs with her, is literally a Division I sports team.
Yeah. Like they're called Ralphie handlers, or I guess like buff handlers, but and right now Ralphie, because that's our current Buffalo's name. And it is literally considered a D1 sport.
Yeah. Like it's
a handler.
A big deal to be on that team. It's like an honor to be on that team. Honestly, probably more of an honor than being on the fucking football team. Let's be real.
It's also hard. Like you're
it's
holding back a very big buffalo from killing people. Frankly.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Recently, there has been press coming out about how one of the Ralphie handlers has been investigated and arrested for rape. And this is also, not to mention, this isn't the first time this has happened. Back in, I think, 2014, another Ralphie handler, Austin Wilkerson, also raped a freshman girl at CU. So this has happened before. It's a small team, right? It's like only a few people. And back in fall of 2022, his name is Brennan Piper. That's when he became a Ralphie handler. He was literally like arrested a few days after he joined the team.
There was allegations against him in September of 2022, so September 26th. He was arrested in December, and I believe that like Ralphie handlers get chosen in October.
Yeah.
So yeah, a few days or a few weeks, but regardless, he joined the team very closely after
the allegations went out.
Arose.
But the thing is that like you have to get a background check done before you can like join the team. And so these like allegations went out. The investigation started. He still somehow passed the background check, got to join the team, was then arrested.
Once he had joined the team, was then arrested.
Yeah, after he had joined the team. And then the investigation started, and it's been going on for like since then till now. So like past like 2 years.
I think they said the case is like the court case itself is happening in June.
Yeah.
Or the trial, excuse me.
Finally. Despite all of that, has been able to stay on the team this entire time. So like, even though there has been two women who have came forward being like, yeah, this guy assaulted me, he has been able to stay on the team.
Not to mention that, yeah, there's people who've said, hey, this guy's assaulted me, but also one of the women was talking about how he was standing outside of her dorm door and was like harassing her. And he has been removed from being in the same dorm as the woman who came forward and said she was assaulted, but he's still on the team. And as we just mentioned, it's a huge honor to be a part of the Ralphie handler team. And even though there's this investigation going on, he's still remaining on that team.
Yeah. So he's facing 3 different counts of sexual assault, could technically face a maximum of life in prison, but we all know that's not going to fucking happen, because when do they actually ever get a, plausible amount of time in prison? Love that. There are like kind of like a couple things going on here that I wanted to point out. The first thing is that the athletics department and CU were all very aware that this man has been under investigation for multiple counts of sexual assault, and he has continued to be allowed to be on the Ralphie running team. I don't fucking like that. Like, I think that's fucking bullshit. Like, I understand that like he hasn't been charged with anything yet, but I think that being accused of multiple counts of sexual assault is enough for a student to be a threat to the community.
Yeah. I highly doubt that anyone who is like on administration or anything like that at CU is watching this. But if you are, I have a question for you. And that question is like, I understand that innocent until proven guilty. Like, that is a part of what the United States was built on. I understand that. However,
can I say something first?
Yeah.
Why are victims of sexual violence assumed to be guilty of lying first then?
These are the questions.
Just wondering.
My question for you, CU Boulder, is when does somebody become an immediate threat? What does it take? Does it take somebody to be beat up? Is 2 women being raped not enough? And it's clear that we're not starting by believing first because, he's still on the team, because they don't feel like he's an imminent threat, all of that. But this was the same thing that I was told when we were in our court case. Oh, we can't really, do anything because we don't see that he's an imminent threat. After they had found that there was, like 5 women in total that he had assaulted, right? So if you're telling people that somebody isn't an imminent threat when there's been multiple people that he's assaulted, and even if it's not proven yet, What does that say about who you believe?
I just when thinking about this, let's say a guy walks into a girl's dorm room and beats the shit out of her and then leaves. Would the school determine that he is a imminent threat to the community? Absolutely.
You would, well, I would hope so.
I would hope so.
But
right?
but that's an interesting thing because that is a crime between two people behind closed doors, which is the same thing that sexual assault is a lot. But would it still just be an alleged thing? Like, would they not be considered an immediate threat?
But like the thing is that why isn't raping someone enough for a school to determine that they are a danger to society and to the community that they are in? Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is enough? Like, is if she shows up at the hospital and is completely like beaten up, like physically you can see that she's been completely beaten up, like is that what it takes? Like is that what's enough? Needed? Like is that what's needed? Like
if she goes and gets a rape kit done and she has like internal vaginal damage, like is that enough?
Like what the fuck is enough if like being harassed and raped apparently isn't? Like that to me is just like what I don't fucking understand is that like yeah, like there are, well, first of all, like Title IX is just like it's not enough, and the policies we have at campuses are not enough. And campus policy and federal law prevent staff and coaches from stopping people who have been accused of sexual misconduct from participating in campus activities like athletics. So they can't do, like coaches can't be like, I don't want this kid on my team. He literally doesn't have, they can't do that.
So what does that mean? That means that the problem doesn't lie within the coaches. The problem lies within administration, right?
Yeah. And the university can remove someone accused of sexual misconduct on an emergency basis if, like we were talking about, they pose as immediate threat, but they don't do that. Like, they literally, like, I don't know what goes through people's heads, but I just think that when people think of sexual assault, they just don't think it's an immediate threat.
But it is. One of the biggest issues, I mean, I have so many issues with this whole current case that's going on, but one of the things for me is that if he had been arrested a few weeks earlier, like when he was actually trying out for to be a Ralphie handler, and they had done that background check, he probably wouldn't be on the team because they would have found it, right?
But in my opinion, like the investigation started before he joined the team, so they could have gone to him and been like, actually,
we see an investigation. But my point is just that, here, walk with me here for a minute.
Okay.
So he's trying out to be a Ralphie handler. There's an active investigation going on. He becomes a Ralphie handler a few weeks later. He's arrested due to allegations of sexual assault / rape. Okay. If he had been arrested while or before trying out to be a Ralphie handler, he probably never would have been on the team, right? So like regardless of the investigation itself, regardless of that going on, but like if the background check had been done at a different time, or if he'd been arrested at a different time, then he wouldn't be on the team. However, a few weeks later, because the background check had already been done, he's arrested and he's still put on the team. So I believe that if you are on a team and you end up getting arrested for if something happens where you wouldn't have been allowed on the team, like due to the background check, then you should be kicked off. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. That's the thing that
and coaches should have the authority to do that.
That just frustrates me the most about the situation is just that like things would be different had the timeline been a little bit different.
Well, you would hope they would have been different.
Yeah. So that's just what's currently going on at CU. But if you dig into their history a little bit, you will learn that CU has a whole lot of history of sexual assault. This is not the first time this has happened. There is just a whole lot going on there. So we're going to give you the entire rundown of the fucked up history that CU Boulder has with sexual violence.
Okay. So this is spicy. To understand this, we need to understand something. The past 20 years, CU has been very shitty at football.
Very, very bad at
just
football.
Very bad at football. They still honestly suck cock, but they are starting to become a like more NFL-like type football school because of bringing in Deion Sanders, which we're also about to shit on too. Back in the early 2000s, CU was a football school. Like they were a fucking football school, unlike it has been, I would say, in like the past 20 years. And someone explained the CU culture back then as they treated women like somehow our experiences are not important and that it's more important to blatantly support a team in anything they do and that women's lives don't matter.
That's like somebody describing the culture back in the 2000s when it was a big football school.
Yes. That is how someone described it. A woman who went to CU, who experienced some unfortunate things at the school and with the football team. So what does this mean? In the early 2000s, a grand jury heard a testimony that members of the CU Boulder football team hired prostitutes and strippers as entertainment for parties attended by both active players and recruits. Attorneys for the plaintiffs argue that the university was aware of sexually hostile environments in the football program, and they were deliberately indifferent to it. But this lawsuit against CU Boulder was initially dismissed in 2005 by a federal judge in Denver. Of course, it was appealed by plaintiffs, thank God. The case that the lawyer made is that women are being used as bait to lure players to the school with promises of sex. This practice was discriminatory against women. It endangered them and therefore meant that they didn't have the same educational rights as men because they could not safely attend the school. And after this, CU's applications dropped. Like, people didn't want to attend CU when this all went public because there was this idea that the CU culture literally was just like, we don't care about women, and like the football team is the only thing we give a shit about.
So then CU was like, oh shit, we've got to really clean up our act because guess what? It's bad for colleges.
Well, they were losing money.
Yeah, they were losing money.
They were losing money, and they're like, well, now we need to actually fucking do something about this.
They're like, okay, we know, like, hey guys, we know that we fucked up. And originally we weren't going to do anything about it, but I guess now we will because it's actually impacting our funding.
But it was also one of those things where it went public. So if CU didn't do anything about it, like when it was private, they didn't give a shit because no one knew about it. It was private. The football team sucked cock and they were doing really bad things when it came to women, but no one knew about it. It was really under wraps. So CU wasn't going to take responsibility for that because, as we know, what do institutions care about? Protecting their image. Okay.
Well, allegedly. Wait, you had said that CU sucked cock, but you really meant that they were doing well.
No, they like sucked because they weren't doing anything about sexual assault.
Okay, okay, sorry. So the team was like playing well, but they are bad because
they had
sexual assault.
Whatever.
Okay,
yes,
thank you. I got a little bit confused there with your terms.
Yeah, so during this time, there was just like a lot of turmoil because CU wasn't doing diddly squat when it came to sexual assault allegations and just like honestly the culture that the football team was creating when it came to women and like literally discriminating against women
was toxic.
It was really bad. And the school did nothing. They probably tried to hide it. But then obviously because this became this like huge court case, it became public information. And so like they lost applicants, they lost money. And so their only choice was to clean up their act or else shit would just get worse for them, which they deserved. Let's be honest.
So they tried to clean up their act. They hired a woman to kind of come in and like develop a whole program around Title IX, I believe, at this point in time. And she was part of the program for a long time. She did a lot. She helped set up like the OVA office there. But so that was like their attempt to try to like fix things, was saying, hey, we're bringing this person in whose sole job is to make this culture better. They're implementing these programs to make the culture better.
But one person can't do that on their own.
Yes, fire, slay, exactly, like, precisely.
Bringing in one woman to change the entire culture is like not going to change things. Like there's so much rape culture that is so embedded in these institutions that isn't going to change with one person or like with one change of decision making.
And they fired some people too.
Oh yeah, they fired a lot of people. It wasn't like all the athletic department.
I think the entire athletic department was like fired.
Yeah.
All this information is from actually the CU Independent, which is like school newspaper. Zoe, who was in our previous episode, was a big part of the CU Independent when she was at school. But the full article where we're getting all of our information from will be linked in the bio down below. So like shout out to the CU Independent. You guys absolutely killed this article. You guys are amazing. Keep talking about the things that need to be talked about.
Yeah. This is back in the early 2000s. Things did get better for a while, but the concern now is that ever since the bringing in of Deion Sanders to coach the football team, the culture has started to change again and has started to change in the way that it was like back when we were a football school. So like we were a football school, we weren't really a football school, and now we're a football school again. And a lot of women's organizations in the area and also at CU are like, well, now we're starting to see a lot more rape problems, which is very interesting how like being a football school and having that culture like literally directly impacts rape culture on campuses.
So one of the very first decisions that Sanders made when he became the football coach at CU was to recruit a player named Anthony Robertson II. Now, simultaneously, once this man, Anthony Robertson II, committed to being at CU on the team, he was also under active investigation for sexual assault. So Deion Sanders is like, hey, listen, my first move, I'm going to hire a rapist. I know, a little crazy. However, he's really good at football, and CU's paying me all this money to be good at football, so I'm also going to hire an assailant.
Hire.
Oh my God. I'm also going to recruit. I mean, it makes sense. He's basically hired. He's recruited, but he's also hired.
But yeah, so an investigation was done on him, and they found that at least 14 women said that they had been assaulted by Robertson during high school and junior college. That's a fucking ton of women. Like
take 14 of your friends and put them in a room. That's a lot of fucking friends. I don't even think I have 14 friends personally.
Yeah, me neither. But it's like very clear that this man like should be locked away and is a direct threat to society.
Honestly, like any other crime that you do 14 times, like you are going to jail. Or like think about
you're going to prison.
Yeah, like think about if you had crashed your car 14 times, like been in a publicly, written down accident, license taken away. My mom has had like 8 speeding tickets, or honestly more, but like she almost went to jail for the amount of speeding tickets she had. So if she had 14, jail. But assaulting 14 women, you're fine. You're good. Off the hook. Keep on going.
We don't want that. And neither did women at CU. So Jenna Baker, shout out to her. She's a CU Boulder student. She started a petition for CU saying, you need to expel Robertson. Like, you need to get him the fuck out of here. And CU responded with like literally complete silence. Even after dozens of victims came forward, CU did not respond. They did literally nothing. Why? Well, he's on the football team. Oh, we couldn't do anything. We can't. What? We can't ruin his life. He's on the football team. He's going to make our football team better. Yeah, fuck you. But this story has a happy ending.
Well, a relatively happy ending. In April of 2023, my senior year of college, that lovely woman, Jenna Baker, who, remember she made that petition to have our boy Anthony Robertson II kicked off campus. Well, guess what? Even though CU didn't listen, she was able to get 5,000 students to sign this petition. And in April of 2023, Robertson was kicked off of the football team and barred from campus. However, while all of this is going on, the only thing that people are talking about at CU was the fact that Deion Sanders was the new football coach and how good our football team was going to be. And I'm a true testament to this because, like I said, this was my senior year of college. Like literally April is like right before graduation, like finals are going on, and there was nothing on campus. I heard absolutely nothing about this petition being signed. I heard nothing about the fact that this person was a rapist or an assailant. And that's because the only thing that people cared about was the football team, not the fact that this awful person was being hired and then eventually kicked off the team.
Hired.
Recruited. You know what I mean, everybody. I don't know football.
New drinking game. Every time Shannon says hired,
take a shot.
Take a shot. It's such fucking bullshit. And like, there's been all this like media hype because of just the bringing in of Sanders. But at the same time, now we're seeing all of these goddamn fucking issues. And to make matters worse, Deion Sanders, like literally in the past 2 months, has made it known that at CU, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like, he could get away with murder, and CU would be like, yeah, okay, that's okay. You killed someone, but you are running our football team, and we won 3 games last season, so we're just gonna keep you on. Okay, so Sanders hires Warren Sapp, like in the past 2 months. And if you don't know who this man is, you don't fucking want to know who this man is. Like, he was in the NFL, and he has had multiple, like, basically any bad thing you can do to a woman he has done and has been charged on it. Like, these aren't even allegations. Like, he's been charged with like domestic violence, assault, everything, like assaulting a prostitute, like everything. And he was like kicked off the NFL Network. Like, this is like, he's not a good guy. And like, it's a pattern too. Like, he's done this multiple times. He's been charged multiple times. He's never been jailed, which, yeah, of course.
So this is no longer a conversation of just allegations. And that's not to say that allegations don't hold a lot of weight. I do believe that they do. I do believe that they should. But this is, at this point, it's literally, he has been convicted. Like, he has done these crimes. There is no question about whether he's innocent or not. It is, he has done these crimes. He's an active perpetrator. He has committed these crimes, and it is still a decision to hire him.
Yeah. Also, Sanders is like, oh, Warren Sapp, like, he's just like such an amazing guy. He literally describes him as a big old teddy bear. That is how Deion Sanders describes this literal fucking rapist of a man. Like, he's like, no, like, he's going to be a great influence on our boys on this football team. I'm like, these are fucking boys. Like, these are like 20-year-old kids who are going to be under the influence of someone who has committed multiple acts of domestic violence against women.
So if you're anyone who has been like in a sport, whether that's a team sport or an individual sport, think about how much time you spent with your coach or with your teammates or just with like other people that you were training with. It's a lot of time. So I don't know exactly what Warren Sapp will be doing at CU. However, if he's a part of this team in any way, shape, or form, imagine what sort of message that is sending to these teammates, or excuse me, what sort of message that is sending to the athletes, right? And on top of all of this, Deion Sanders is a very strong, like outwardly proclaiming Christian man. And when he was hired, like I remember like so many members of my family were like super hyped up because it's like, oh, we have this strong Christian, and his whole thing is like not just about being a football coach. He's all about, you know, turning boys into men. And if you go look at his Instagram, you'll see all over it. There is like Jesus everywhere. God bless. Like, you know, like put faith in the Lord for our next game, all this stuff. And I'm all here for that. Like, I'm a Christian, like cheers, all that. But the point is if you are a self-proclaimed Christian and you say that your mission being a football coach at CU is more than just being a coach and it's about turning boys into men, and you hire someone who is a convicted sex offender, what are you teaching these boys, teaching these men? You are teaching them that it is okay to assault women. You are teaching them that it is okay to be a convicted sex offender. Like, what the fuck?
Especially because the way he talks about, like, the way Sanders talks about Warren Sapp is like, so like, he's such an amazing guy. Like, he has made mistakes, but whatever, like they're in the past. Like, no, like he has made so many of those mistakes that like at this point, like that is who he is. Like, he's not a good person. And so for Sanders to be like, no, like he's a great person, he's basically excusing Warren Sapp of like all of the crimes that he has committed.
Yeah, people make mistakes, people can be forgiven, but I'm a firm believer that if you have committed crimes like this, like sex crimes, you should never be in charge of a group of young men. You should never be in charge of a group of people who have the opportunity to take advantage of women, like period. Like, you should not be a part of any of that.
It just like kind of shows to the like members of the team, yeah, that like doing these things is okay. Like, yeah, you can get away with this and still end up on top and things like that. And like, that's not what these guys should be learning. And it's not the culture that should be brought to CU. And it's not the culture that should be on the football team itself. And it's just like really unfair too. And like every single media outlet that has written a story on this has been like, CU's literally fucking so stupid for allowing Sanders to hire this man. Like, he's awful. Why would you want him to be on the football team? Why would you want him to be part of like the CU community? Like, this is bullshit. Like, every single media outlet has said that. Like, no one agrees that this is a good idea. And even CU like actually tried to stop it.
So this is a Deion Sanders problem at this point.
Yeah. Like, eventually they just like let him get away with it. Even though CU was like, we don't really want him on this team, there was only so much that they could do to prevent it. Why? Like, I just don't understand why you'd want to bring a man like this to coach a football team. Like, these are not the type of people that should be like coaching the next generation. You know what I mean? Like,
or be in a position that people look up to and respect. Those positions should be reserved for people who have integrity, who are kind, who are respectful towards everybody in their life, not people who are convicted sex offenders.
Amen. We're going to wrap this up, and we wanted to wrap up with a quote that was from one of the articles that we will tag below. And Iswari Dugirola.
Sorry if we're butchering your name. We love you.
Who is a co-founder of CU Boulder Student Against Campus Sexual Assault, said that, you know, they believe that the university is really just like willing to turn a blind eye to instances of sexual misconduct as a means of protecting the athletic department's reputation. And, you know, that's what we've been talking about the whole time. Like, that is like really what it comes down to, right? And they go on to say, I think we have to remember that for universities, especially like CU Boulder, athletics is such a huge part of the college culture. So when there's a sexual assault case, it obviously paints the athletic department in a bad light. and the university never wants to be painted in a bad light. For the university, it's easier to protect the perpetrators than to really dig into what's really going on. So we just wanted to leave you guys with that. This is an issue that we see across the nation at every university on like so many different sports teams. And at the end of the day, it's really just the school and the athletic department not taking responsibility for what's really going on, turning a blind eye, and not protecting the students that need to be protected.
So as a sort of call to action, CU Boulder, Deion Sanders, the athletic department, anyone who has a hand in this, you need to be better, because this is not what a college filled with pride should look like. This is not what an athletic team should look like. And this is not how you protect your students.
And that goes out to like every fucking university out there that is doing a really shitty job at protecting students from all of this bullshit.
You know, like, give us a school to be proud of. Like, give us a football team that's not filled with rapists. Like, give us an athletic
doesn't
department.
Support rape culture.
Yeah, like, give us a football like coach and like team of coaches that we can say they're fucking awesome. They are building boys into men in a respectful, kind way that like respects women. Like,
yeah,
that's what I want to be a part of.
That's what we're asking for.
But, and one more thing is, like, I understand that as an administration, you can't control your students. Like, you aren't the one that's like physically assaulting people, but what you are in control of is what you do about it and how you handle those situations and how you choose to protect your students once you know that allegations have risen. You can't control it happening, but you can control what the steps are after that does happen. Thank you everybody for listening to our rant today. We know this was a little fired up, but you know, honestly, I said in my last episode that I wasn't really feeling that fired up recently, and this really got me going. So,
yeah, I didn't sleep thinking about this stuff. It's just fucked.
If you like this episode, let us know. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Rate the podcast. This really helps let us know how we're doing, all of that. Now, if you have like questions, comments, want to share your story, want us to do an episode on something, send us an email at whattheydon'tsaythepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, at What They Don't Say Official. All that stuff. DM us. And if you want one of these hats, let us know. And
contact us on any platform.
Yeah, all that stuff will be linked down below.
Yes. Okay. We love you guys. You're amazing. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Cheers.
Cheers.